What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about your Winnipeg Jets like usual over here, but they are the last undefeated team in the NHL, 5-0-0, and they've looked really good through the first 5 games of the season. Yes, it's only 5 games, let's not get too excited here, but there is a lot to be excited about. And, you know, it's really refreshing because at the beginning of this year, I really didn't know how the season was going to go. I really didn't have too much confidence in the lineup that they were icing out of the gate day one, but everybody is playing really good through the first few games of the season. And we're seeing players play, you know, at levels that really maybe they haven't hit their entire career, such as Mason Appleton. We'll talk about him later. Another guy I'm really impressed by through the first 4 games he played was Rasmus Kupari. And then, of course, you've got the guys that always chip in, like Connor Hellebuck. You've got Mark Scheifele with 5 goals through 5 games of the season. Everybody is showing up. The stars are showing up. The depth is showing up, and that's why the Jets are 5-0 through their first 5. The second line for Winnipeg went through a lot of scrutiny to begin the season, you know, without even playing a game yet, but they didn't really look like they had a lot of chemistry through the first few games. Didn't have a 5-on-5 goal or point, you know, through the first 3. In Game 4 of the year, they played the San Jose Sharks in a tune-up game, and they blew the doors off of them. Cole Perfetti had a 4-point night, Vlad Nemestikov had a 4-point night, and Nikolai Ehlers found his stride once again with a 3-point night. That line combined for 11 points, looked really good, and they carried that into the game against Pittsburgh. They looked super dynamic. Nick Ehlers looks like an absolute force, like he usually does, but it's a little different this time. I don't know. Ehlers feels like, you know, if he's given the minutes, if he's given the opportunity, he could be, you know, a point per game guy. And I don't think that's, you know, really crazy to anyone that's, you know, kept up with Nick Ehlers for, you know, as long as he's been around. But he could legitimately put up career numbers this year. And in a contract year, that's pretty convenient for Nick, right? Speaking of contract years, Neil Pionk has not looked like an absolute bag of trash. Pionk's been actually pretty engaged with the offense, and that's something that he hasn't really been, at least the last couple of years. He's been bad defensively for the last, 3 to 4, but offensively, it really felt like it tapered off last season especially. It was really noticeable. This year, he's joining the rush. He's actually making really nice plays, really setting up, the forwards off the rush. I really like his, rush offense from Pionk, and the confidence in which he's doing it. You know, he's not afraid to take the risk to, set up a play, and he's been really good so far at the beginning of this season. And if he can continue that, if that is legitimately how he's going to be playing this year, that is huge for Winnipeg, and that changes the complexion of this Jets team massively. Playing with Dylan Sandberg this year, Sandberg getting that bump in the top 4, he's been super responsible as well. Even offensively too, he's been great. But just Neil Pionk playing like a number 4 defenseman would go so far this year. Last year, he, might as well have been sitting on the pine. The guy was garbage last year. I know he had some injuries and everything like that, but, this year, if he's able to actually be a solid top 4 defenseman, that goes such a long way, and it's, giving Josh Morrissey and Dylan DeMello maybe, an extra 2 minutes to catch their breath per game. And even the bottom pairing, too. Colin Miller's looked really good this season. Played 4 games with Hayden Fleury, then he played with Logan Stanley. And, Stanley looked like Logan Stanley. I don't think he did anything jaw-dropping or anything crazy. But, I'm not going to get into the Stanley thing. I'm not going to drag it down here. But, I've been really impressed with how the defense has been playing this year. That's been one of my biggest worries with Heinola gone, due to injury. Stanley back in the lineup for Pittsburgh, getting some rotation in with a couple other guys. And, I don't know. The defense, for sure, has surprised me. I didn't expect it to be this effective. I know it's still early, but, this is way better than I ever anticipated to start the year. Now we're going to throw it back to Mason Appleton. Talked about him earlier. He is having an awesome year. I give Mason Appleton the hardest time because, he's a guy that last year really maybe didn't belong on that third line with Lowry and Niederreiter. I didn't think he was the best fit. I thought a guy like Morgan Barron was playing better hockey last season. Mason Appleton might have a career year this year if he continues this. I know, once again, it's only 5 games, but 2 goals, 5 points. The guy has looked amazing. He's setting Adam Lowry up. He's arguably outshining Nino Niederreiter on that line through the first 5 games. And Adam Lowry's benefiting from it. Lowry looks like he's playing some of the best hockey of his career, and it's really cool to see, because this is not what I anticipated. I thought the third line would be solid like they have been for, the last couple of seasons, but I didn't expect anything like this. They're controlling the play 5-on-5. They are cycling in the offensive zone consistently. And to pair with that, a contributing fourth line where Rasmus Kupari actually looks like a player, already has a goal this year, got robbed a couple times already, probably could have 2 or 3, with Alex Iafallo, who looks like he can skate this year, and Morgan Barron, who looks just really solid. Like, up and down, this team is really, really strong through the first 5, and if they can just keep this up, if they can just keep the consistency, it would go such a long way. The top line of Connor, Scheifele, Velarde is one that, definitely gets a lot of eyebrows raised, because we know last season they did not play very well. This year, 5-on-5, I wouldn't necessarily say they're the greatest line ever, but they did show signs of life against Pittsburgh, where Mark Scheifele scored his 5th goal of the year, but that was actually his first 5-on-5 goal, 5-on-5 point actually, of the season, 5 games in. And there's no, problem with Mark Scheifele being elite on special teams or with a man advantage. That's, super bonus. But, you'd like to see a little bit more 5-on-5. Kyle Connor probably played his best game in like 3 years against the Penguins. And, hey man, you can't complain about it. Gabe Velarde still held off the goal sheet currently, but those are going to come for him. He's had some chances. I'm not too worried about that. I think that line works a little bit better than last season. I don't know if it's, going to be something that is or should stay together throughout the year, but right now they're at least okay. And Kyle Connor's back checking, Mark Scheifele's back checking, Gabe Velarde's doing his thing, and I think it's not the worst line ever. It's not as dramatic as last year, but we'll have to see how the year shakes out. That's the only question mark I really have right now. Can you get more out of that line 5-on-5 somehow? But all 3 of those guys have been playing great. Kyle Connor looks like he has some confidence this year and looks like a legit candidate to score 40 goals. Mark Scheifele as well. And then you got Connor Hellebuyck. And geez, man, this guy's playing out of his mind. 4 games and a .952 save percentage. He's just doing his thing. That's Connor Vesnabuck, baby. Already got, acknowledged for winning the Jennings and the Vezina last season at the Sharks game, and that was a lot of fun. Obviously, Connor Hellebuyck, a massive pillar of this franchise, maybe the best player to ever play for this franchise, and in my opinion, future Hall of Famer. He's just, padding stats so far this year. It's all gravy in my opinion. His backup, Eric Comrie, who I've been very skeptical about, played his first game against Pittsburgh, came up with a big game, looked actually pretty solid. If he can control some rebounds, he's going to be fine. I really like so far how this Jets team is playing. Did not anticipate this, but it is a lot of fun. And, we talked about Connor Hellebuyck getting acknowledged. Brian Little got acknowledged. He got to, put on the skates, go one last time onto the ice in a Jets uniform, and that was pretty cool. I don't know, got a little teary-eyed at that one. That was really cool to see. The last time Brian Little, if you guys don't know, was on the ice, he took a Nick Ehlers slap shot to the ear, and it actually ended his career. Vertigo and all these other things with him. It was awful, tragic that his career ended the way it did, and it was really cool to see him put the jersey on one more time, for that to be his last time in a Jets uniform, and not when he's on the ground, injured. And I don't know, it was just a really nice touch by the Jets. I thought that was really cool. So, the vibes could not be higher. People freaking out about Brian Little. So goddamn awesome, dude. I love it. This team, 5-0, the vibes per 60 are through the roof. Guys are overachieving right now. Guys are playing fantastic. Only 5 games, but how can you not be excited if you're a Jets fan right now? And to boot, almost forgot to add it to this video, but Rucker McGroarty getting chirped at the Jets game when he wasn't even there. A "Where is Rucker" chant going on. You know, if you know the story behind that, it's obviously hilarious. If you don't, Rucker McGroarty said that he wanted out of Winnipeg, got traded to Pittsburgh, and then got sent down to the AHL before the game on Sunday. He didn't get to play. It was hilarious. "Where is Rucker" chant went going. That was just so awesome. And then a "Jager's better" chant. Can't get better than this. Felt like old times in the MTS Center. But hey man, like I said before, how can you not be having fun if you're a Jets fan right now? But that's all I got today, guys. I'm just, splurting shit out right now. I just can't believe how well this team's been playing. What do you guys think about the early season? Are you really excited for this Jets team? Do you think they have a chance to be one of the better contending teams in the league, or do you think they're a paper tiger? I want to hear from you guys. Leave your comments down below. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Go Jets, go. Bye-bye.